If I had to make money this week with zero savings, these are 5 things that I would do. Again, I've used every one of these at some point when I needed money immediately. And not someday money. Not let me get afloat first, then this can happen. I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna feed myself next week type of cash. But don't take them for granted. Even if you're okay and just need a little extra spending money, a little supplemental income. I mean, in this economy, who doesn't need a little extra money, right? These are low barrier and in some case, decently paying jobs that you can get started with today. Number 1 is gig apps. This is your replacement for the traditional delivery apps. And honestly, it's maybe a little bit stronger. For the longest time, I either didn't qualify due to lack of licensure or I didn't have a vehicle. So I use other gig-based apps to stay afloat. Honestly, it's one of the reasons why I hold the career I have in account management now. Apps such as, and not limited to, and I'm just gonna list them off because it's not sponsored and I use some of them, not a lot of them anymore, but like Quick, Winolo, SnapShift, ShiftSmart, Gig Pro, to name just a few of them. But then also on the promotional side of things, there's pop bookings, there's Trusted Herd, there are Facebook groups. You can locate local event-specific staffing agencies for like conventions, stadiums, different type of events that may happen in your area. And then a lot of these, you do not need a car. Some of these, you don't even need a resume. You just need availability and the ability to be able to talk to people. You don't even have to like talking to people. I tell people all the time, I am a paid extrovert. If they were not paying, I would not be staying. I've worked gigs where I got paid to just show up, smile, and execute. No long onboarding, no waiting weeks. Back of house washing dishes at one location for brunch, bouncing over to the next for dinner service, and I'm cashing out at least $350 by the end of the night. Now, results may vary, but if you are in a high density area, if you are a hustler like myself and know how to operate as a business, you can definitely make it work. And you can sometimes, in some cases, replace your full-time income. Wouldn't guarantee it, but it can be done. Number 2 is part-time work in tipped environments. I tell people again all the time, and even when I threaten to quit my job, I say, you know what? I can always go back to serving. I know people that have paid off debts, homes, children's college funds from serving at the Waffle House. I lived in Phoenix for a brief stint, and it was the Waffle House that assisted us in getting back to the Midwest where I belong. Phoenix is such a nice place, but I don't belong there. Places such as restaurants, hotels, private events, weddings, corporate catering. One of my first clients as a sole proprietor is one of the biggest catering companies in the area. I say is because they can hit me up, and they still do, anytime, and I'm down to help out and vice versa. And it works because most of these places are hourly, and then you get tips. And then the friendlier you are, the nicer you are, the higher your tips are going to be. And it's not a tip pool, so you are in control of the amount of money that you can make. A majority of the time, they're weekend heavy schedules, so you can quickly inject more cash into your week without sacrificing any time from your main source of income. There's easy entry because, let's be honest, they have high turnover. And then in your case, that works out because they're constantly hiring. There are times where I worked 2 weekends and made what some people make a weekend full time. So I'm gonna leave that right there as well. Numero 3 is UGC, or user-generated content. I call this being a digital brand ambassador because a lot of the smart ambassadors have found a way to incorporate UGC into their portfolios because the on-the-ground experience basically catapults them in this lane because you essentially put that in front of a camera and promote the same products that you're promoting on the ground. Brands pay you to create content as a customer, essentially. So you don't have to have an audience. They will take your content and utilize that in their ads. So those TikTok style ads, the testimonials, product demos, even those game ads that you get in the middle, that's UGC. And that's someone like me or you. This is where I need people to understand. Like, some of my most basic looking content has literally paid a bill or two. Now, I don't romanticize it. Some of these brand products literally have kept food in my mouth, a bill paid, and assisted in keeping a roof over my head. It's easy ways to get started. Platforms are like Join Brands and even Amazon, where I am not only an influencer, but I receive on-site commissions. So if you want to know more about that, where you don't have to have, like, you just put the videos online. No one has to follow you at all. Drop a package in the comments if you want to know more about that. Number 4 is work from home, contract, or flexible remote jobs. These are things such as customer service, chat support, seasonal remote contracts, VA work, data entry. They sound like they are they exist. I have worked them. I consistently work them. I'm still signed up with an agency where I can contractually work from home from different companies. This is a clock in, clock out stream, but it's from your laptop. Some you can work from anywhere. Most of them, 90% of them, you do have to work from home because you have to be hardwired in, but it still relieves the pressure of you having to go outside and fighting commuting traffic. And you're able to make, some of these jobs are full-time, so you can make it a full-time job, or you can simply supplement your income. It's not sexy, but it stabilizes your income while you're trying to build everything else. And it allows you to multitask a little bit more too. Of course, I always recommend making sure that you pay attention to your job, but you can multitask. Number 5, last but not least, and I don't want y'all to sleep on them. And I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash for saying this, but temp agencies. Yes, people ready. Yes, express. Yes, labor ready. Whatever you got in your area. When I was poor, I was on it. Those jobs, again, have helped me make sure that things were cool. Warehouse shifts. For you guys that want to sit behind a desk, they have office shifts, admin roles, event labor. You can sometimes get event roles at staffing agencies. A lot of them are same day pay or next day placement work. There's not a long hiring cycle. You can almost work immediately. And if you work with multiple agencies, then you have a constant pipeline of work. I used to do store resets, the big box stores. So I'd work there overnight and then go to my main job during the day. So yeah, that's what I had to do at times, but it's one of the fastest ways to get from I need money to I'm okay this week. I'm working this week. I'm good this week. I wanted to add these in because they're honorable mentions, because they're more longer game versus quick wins, but reselling, flipping, I got tons of shit in here that I need to get rid of. Honestly, I just need to figure that out. Freelancing skills. So if you have a skill such as writing or editing, design, I'm going to need an editor soon here because I can't keep spending the time to do this. That's something that you could possibly invest in. TaskRabbit. I haven't personally used Task apps, but I know people that have, and they do well on those. Even platforms such as Landing that hire cleaners for their short-term rentals. So there's always ways that you can go out and make money. And then if you want to stay in the digital world, there's always affiliate marketing, and then TikTok, like TikTok Shop. It doesn't take a lot to become monetized on TikTok. At the very starting point is 1,000 followers, and it's not hard to obtain. So it's something to look into if you like being behind the camera. I don't think I like being behind the camera sometimes. If there's one thing I hope you take away from this, is that these aren't goals. They're tools. I don't want to hustle forever. And honestly, I don't think most of us do. But I also recognize that not everyone has the privilege of skipping the season where you just need to make it work. So if you're in that season, I hope this gave you a few options, a few real options, not to stay in survival mode, but to help you get out of it. Because eventually the conversation shifts from how do I make more money to how do I build a life where I don't have to hustle like this anymore. And that's actually something I've been thinking about a lot lately. If you ever caught yourself somewhere between hustle culture and wanting a softer, more intentional life, I think you'll really enjoy this next video.